Oh, you're reading it out loud.
You're live. And
I think we should change the music on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Working on a new intro. Hey, everybody. Welcome. What's happening in Central Oregon? This is our twice monthly or bi-weekly or whatever we want to call it live stream where we kind of go over kind of trending and important news and development stories here in Central Oregon. Welcome to the show. Thanks to all of our subscribers who are out there. Oh wait, I've got a little thing. You have trouble streaming to Instagram. Dang it. If you're live, you're streaming, blah, 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 blah. That didn't work. All right, well, we're not live on Instagram, but we're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube. So welcome. First thing we like to do is we ask everybody to let us know where you are watching from so we can keep tabs on you. So we know where you're coming from. Say something, babe.
Oh, I was back there when you started saying that we bi-weekly, once a week. I'm like, oh man, we're going to schedule this.
Bi-monthly.
Bi-monthly, once quarterly.
Every other week is the idea. Every other week is the plan and the idea. So anyway.
That's funny.
If you're out there, thanks so much for watching. And like we said, we throw up these little banners right here. Welcome. There it is, banner. Be sure to leave your comments in the chat. We're going to get going here in just a second. We're just giving a few minutes for people to tune in. Mm-hmm. If anyone's going to tune in, it's okay. You'll catch the replay. All right. So, yeah, where are you watching from? We want to know. Are you local, from out of the area? Let us know in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. Also, any questions that you have, we want to know what you are looking to know. We do videos every week on our YouTube channel, and we want to know what you're interested in. If you're thinking about moving here, what do you need to know? Mm-hmm. Help us so that we can create content for you that brings value to you, because that's obviously what we're here to do. Yeah.
We love to go over, the new neighborhoods and stuff, but maybe we're missing something out there. So just let us know, and we'll try to make a video that benefits you.
That's right. Yeah. So leave your questions down below. We can do a little Q&A at the end if we have people on that are asking questions. So first things first. We've got 4 news stories today. Mm-hmm. And then if we run short, maybe we could extend it and talk about a few other things, but we got 4 kind of interesting stories that we're going to poke around at and just kind of discuss and see what we think and maybe see what you guys think. All right. So first one up. Something else I want to talk about right there. New time, Wednesdays at 4. We did this in the past. We did it Tuesdays at noon, or maybe it was Wednesdays at noon, or whenever it was. Most of our viewers on YouTube are on in the evenings. We're trying to get it close to evening as possible. So 4 is as evening as we can get.
It's just hard time. It's a hard time for everybody, but for us, it's like kid time. Kids
home from school, stuff like that. So,
they might walk in here right now. So,
did you lock that? All right, let's go ahead and start into our first story. We're talking about the tax exempt program that the city of Bend has been doing, and so I'll go ahead and let's see. I'll bring up the story here that we're going to be looking at. And Bend likely to pause the tax exemption program after Jackstraw scrutiny. This is
scrutiny. That is a headline.
Well, so what happened was, I think we probably talked about it last time. We talked about it last time, actually, that this tax exempt program in particular areas of town where they're trying to spur on development. They're doing some tax exemption shenanigans to spur on development. And the problem is the Jackstraw building, if you don't know, it's going to be this massive building. There's like 300 units in it. It's 3 or 4 stories. It's a big development happening right down by the box factory. Well, there's a bunch of tenants down there in the box factory, and I believe it was Immersion Brewing or maybe Avid Cider. I think it was Immersion Brewing. Mm-hmm. Heard about this tax exemption, said, whoa, wait a minute. We're sitting here struggling. You guys have redeveloped our parking lot here in the box factory like 3 times or 4 times over the past 5 to 10 years. And now we have this massive construction project going on in our front yard. For years. This will be a multi-year build, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. And they're getting a tax exemption. Like, what about us? Like, obviously the, economy is not been quite as strong the last year. And so, they're, not doing quite as well, but yet they're getting tax exempt. So they sent a very strongly worded letter to the city council, and that is the scrutiny that we are talking about here.
Yeah.
So I find this really interesting, and I find this interesting for a couple of different ways. One, that the city is actually pausing on this.
Listening to their subjects.
Yeah, because generally speaking, the city kind of does what they want, and that's kind of that. They say, no, that's what we're doing, and that's what it is. So it's interesting that they were actually listening to this. They claim in this article by the Bulletin that that this tax exemption program has been more of a hassle than it has been good. So they're like, maybe we should just pause it in general. Now, they're not pausing it for any of the developments. They're not going to pause it for the Jackstraw, and they're not pausing it for any of the other ones. We talked about the...
Wait, but I thought they said they are pausing for Jackstraw, or did it?
No, they're not 7-story Jackstraw development. Sorry, 7-story. But anyway, no, they're not. They're going to just...
7 stories.
It's a big, big, big thing. Yeah. They even have...
Is that the tallest?
It'll be close.
Yeah.
Anyway... the tax exemption program is in place for Juniper Ridge and the core area, right? So thinking about stopping that. However, all of the things that have already been planned for their Jackstraw platform, which is over off of Franklin Road, and the new, what is it called? Timber yard. All of that area right there above the old mill is all going to be, that's all part of the development area that's tax exempt for 10 years for all of that. So anyway, I find it really interesting that they are considering stopping that. But
that's a good one we'll have to keep our eye on.
Absolutely. But another thing that's interesting is they're talking about revenue growth and how it's not as much as projected. And so they're going to have to figure. So for them, they're like, well, maybe we're not getting as much tax as we thought. So maybe we should scrap the exemption program so that way we get the taxes, right? Which is silly. The other thing that they're doing, and this is kind of an add-on to this particular story, is let's talk about SDCs for a second. Now, this isn't, I'll go ahead and hide that. I'll go back to us for a second. SDCs are system development charges.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
Well, you could explain it. But,
no, you go ahead. You're on a roll.
Anytime that there's a new house or a new building, new construction that happens, dirt, they start doing it, they charge the developer, the builder, whatever, a system development charge. And it's, in residential, it's it's like $40K. It's fairly substantial. Now, in commercial, I don't know what the number is, but they are proposing to increase that by a lot. I mean, so much, in fact, like I want to say like either 50 or 70 or 100%. Like they're,
oh my God,
they're really going to increase it a ton. And they propose this, and this Jackstraw tax exemption thing that they're putting on pause and going to discuss later city council meetings, and this new SDC increase is the second time. So, okay, let me go back. We fought it. We said this is too much. The Small Business Administration, or not this is the what's the not Visit Ban. What am I thinking? The business group, right? They said whoa. The commercial real estate agencies said whoa, and there was probably 50 people that signed on to this letter that was submitted to the city of Bend and said, you can't raise SDCs by this much this fast. This is crazy. There were a lot of healthcare doctors, dentists, professionals, stuff like that, that were all a part of this letter that was submitted. And again, second time, city said, okay, maybe we'll take a pause. Maybe we'll reconsider this, which is just shocking to me, because in the past couple of years, the city hasn't really wanted to pause on anything. Anything they propose, like, yep, we're doing this, and they've just kind of like made it happen. So this is a good step. I think this is a really good step. I think the city's finally kind of listening and saying we can't just raise prices and everything. Although if they're pausing a tax exemption program, that means they would be getting the taxes. So maybe that's I don't know, a way they're dealing with that. Anywho. What are your thoughts? Do you want to see system development charges go up? I don't know anybody that would, but, or, the city's always looking for more money, right?
Yeah.
And,
that'd be interesting to get break that down, where all those costs in that, and maybe get a builder in here to break down kind of a budget
I could do
on that. That's actually kind of an interesting thing. I would find interesting, but I find that interesting, of course, because I'm at work, but
because we're nerds about that sort of stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our next deal here. Oh, get rid of that. Let's talk about the Pahlisch commercial area that is coming up here. Let me go over here, go to this. Cool. So there was some controversy. We talked about this on one of our previous live streams. Petrosa has a large
16 acres?
16 acres. Wow.
It's huge.
Of commercial property that was kind of sold to the people who bought in Petrosa. I mean, we've sold plenty of homes in Petrosa to clients. That it was going to be this walkable community where you're able to go and get your
on their
coffee.
Virtual tour. It's amazing. I mean, they showed, you know, grocery store, coffee shop, all that kind of stuff. It kind of gave it the vibe and the hominess of this is going to be a master plan community that's going to be really cool.
And then what happened?
Well, they had the sign that says commercial development, and then all of a sudden somebody woke up one day and the sign had changed and said it was for sale, which that of course caused a hoopla. And then they did sell it, and they sold it to just recently. Wasn't it just recently?
So I believe it's still technically kind of an escrow, but
16.1 acres.
Yep. And it just recently purchased property for $8 million. So here's the thing. There's been a lot of kind of drama about this because obviously, and rightfully so, the homeowners are worried that that they're not going to get their shopping center, and they're not going to get their coffee shop or their yoga studio or their grocery store.
They were sold on an image, and they want to make sure the image is still there.
Yeah. Well, what this article is basically saying, and what Pahlisch has maintained, and what the city of Bend and their permitting system has maintained, that it is still commercial.
Everything that they've approved, that's for the guidelines for that.
Exactly.
Land has to be kind of met.
Yep. Exactly.
As far as tenants that go into that shopping center, you know, that is still up in the air, but they're going to still have to meet the guidelines for what's been approved for that.
Exactly.
I still think it's still going to be great. And it's it's a stunning neighborhood.
It is.
And it's coming along, and it's with the park and everything and the views. I just sold, if she pops on here, she knows who I'm talking to. Closed on a house. Well, we will be closing on the house in the summer. And like you go down Nipper Drive and it's just the mountain views are amazing. Yeah. They're just stunning. And I'm like, we always say East Side's got the best views.
Yes, they do. No, Petrosa is a really fantastic neighborhood. I love it as well. And the commercial factor there, it's sold to a local developer who has done really great things in the area as well. We happen to know who it is. And so we know that it's going to be a good product that they put forth. And again, this city is still basically maintaining, and Pahlisch as well. They're going to still make sure that what they promised to go in there is still going to go in there. Yeah. So we bring this up just so that nobody panics. If you're looking at buying a Petrosa, it's going to be okay. There's still going to be good stuff there.
Because if you Google Petrosa, it comes up, man.
It comes up. Oh no, are they gonna?
Local developers, they're gonna make a good product.
Yeah, they have a vested interest in this area. They're not just trying to buy land and put more houses or put apartment complexes or anything. It's going to be a commercial.
It's not going to be industrial.
Yeah, it's going to be retail. It's going to be good. So that's cool. We could touch on that real quick. We don't have to go into that too much, but don't worry. Petrosa is it's still going to be what it's promised to be. Yeah. I'm not promising it, but it's been promised. All right. Here's an interesting one. Tetherow for sale?
Big price tag.
Well, maybe.
They won't disclose the price. And I'm like, ooh, I want to know.
No kidding. Well, tell us about this. What's the deal here? Why is this relevant?
So Tetherow, if you don't know where Tetherow is, it is on the southwest side of Bend. It is a amazing golf resort. I mean, you have restaurant, boutique hotel, all of the homes that are built in there are just gorgeous. And have you ever golfed Tetherow?
Yeah, we did.
You did that video. But have you ever done
No.
No.
We'd hit a ball and then run to the next one and then shoot a scene and then run it because we didn't want to hold up play for anybody else. So it was not really playing golf.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, so they have a 50-room hotel there. So apparently they are selling the resort, the restaurant, and the property management company. But the homeowners are going to, or is that right? Is that the right term for that, homeowners?
Yeah.
They're going to still own the golf course.
Oh, no. The people that own the golf course are still going to own the golf course. Not the property owners, but the people that own the golf course people. Yeah, I mean, if you don't know about Tetherow, I mean, you probably do, but if you don't, I mean, it's a really incredible golf course. It ranked this year number 57 on, let's see, it actually says right there, on Golf Digest's top 100 courses in America. And it's also one of the quote unquote greenest golf courses.
I thought that was interesting. Like Audubon.
Yeah.
I think I wrote it down somewhere on my notes, but yeah, it's Audubon Award of water conservation. Yeah, so it doesn't suck as much water.
Like one of the most efficient watered golf courses like in the country. It's pretty cool. I mean, we are in a desert, so obviously, but but it's very cool. Anyway, they're looking to sell.
That will be interesting to watch how it affects. I mean, I think it's pretty exciting because somebody can come and buy the resort and zhuzh it up.
I mean, it's pretty fancy as it is. Yeah, it's pretty fancy as it is. They cite in here also about Black Butte Ranch, and this is something we actually know the guy that was involved in building the new Black Butte Lodge out in Black Butte.
Which that needed a facelift.
It did, but
bad.
Did you see this right here? It was a $20 million rebuild. That seems excessive. We need to go out there, maybe do a tour, maybe do a video, do a tour of it.
It's gorgeous. I've seen pictures of it. It's amazing.
Yeah. So anyway, interesting. They're piecing this thing apart. It'll still all probably, do you think it'll have the same name? I mean, it'll have to. Like it's called Tetherow, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to like.
Or Tetherow by, Sheridan Hotel.
Like the Juniper Ridge and the Pronghorn thing. They kind of changed that. Maybe that's a similar thing.
Yeah, they changed the whole vibe of Pronghorn. Now it's like a fitness spa type.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
This will be interesting.
Yeah. If you're thinking of buying in Tetherow, just so you know.
Yeah. All right. Next story. Let me just check this real quick. Oh man, no comments yet.
Okay.
Let's go over here. This one I think that we could probably spend some time on because here, this is a really interesting one. It's got tons of great numbers in it that we find interesting. Now,
of course,
we'll go ahead and let you know we do have a dog in the fight on this one because we do own short-term rentals here in the area. Ours are in the city. This is talking about, and if you're unfamiliar,
we use that term a lot, and a lot of people are not aware of what it means. So short-term rental, or STRs, are hotels, condos, single-family homes, single rooms, anything under 30 days is considered a short-term rental. If you have a short-term rental, then you pay hotel tax. And so this is super interesting. So in this article, they talk about Deschutes County, and they also,
let's talk about the difference between county and city.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go. The unincorporated versus,
So in the city of Bend already, there are a bunch of regulations for if you're going to have an STR. You have to be, within a certain number of other homes that are STRs. You can't be, you can't be too close to somebody else who's already doing it. They try to spread them out. A few years ago, they made that space even tighter. Yeah. So it's harder. Well, actually broader. So you're further away from other people, which really condenses the amount of STRs you can have. Bend is basically, city limits is basically full. Like you can't really do any more STRs in the city of Bend. So what are people doing?
They're going outside of Bend.
Going outside of Bend because there are no regulations at all. It's the Wild West. You can do whatever you want in the county. Well, that might be changing.
Yeah. So they say there's 3,200 on the outside of Bend, Redmond, Sisters. Sisters has regulations. Bend has regulations. Redmond doesn't really have much I think you have to have your business license. There's a couple of things that hoops you have to jump through in order to have your license within a city limits of those towns. Right. I'm not sure of Lapine's rules, but I know I've heard whispers that there is regulations in the
I think it's the same thing as Redmond. I think you just have to have the business license and obviously be
we should
paying
look
your,
into
your
that.
taxes.
Actually, I think there might be more rules
Okay.
than that.
But what the county is discussing right now is whether they need to get involved in doing some regulations, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they are talking about some regulations. They actually have some really interesting numbers in here. First of all, what'd you say? There's 3,200 it's just 3,200 rentals outside of the major cities.
So like if you're outside of the county and you're not in a major resort like Sun River or Black Butte, you really don't have a lot of regulations. You have to have your business license and that's it. And you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. And that probably leads to problems.
So neighbors are complaining. We have fire ordinances and people are leaving their fire pits on. There's X amount of people in a house and it's small, so there's more trash and they don't have people come pick up the trash. It's leading to issues where people are complaining. That's understandable. You always want to be a good neighbor. So this article so people have brought it up to the city or the county, and they're starting to look into regulations for that. So I thought that one was really interesting too. So visitors that come to Deschutes County, they spend $990 million in Deschutes County, and that's from 2022.
That's just tourism spending dollars.
Tours spending 40% of that is accommodation.
$392 million are spent on accommodation. So hotels, Airbnbs, Verbos, short-term rentals in general, but hotels as well.
Yeah.
Yep. And then
it's a lot of money.
And then we take in, and then the transient room tax, the county tax, it's 8%. So 8% of those dollars are coming back to the county and used for other various things that goes back out towards tourism.
Yeah.
Transient lodging taxes. Really, really interesting. Down a little bit though this last year, only $12.5 million in tax revenue for short-term rentals versus $13 million the year prior. And again, here's what's really interesting. There's all this concern and worry about all of these 3,200 rampant rentals everywhere, all over unincorporated areas. However, most of them are in Sun River.
Yeah.
There's 4,200 homes.
There's 3,200 homes. Oh, sorry.
No.
You're on the wrong one. Yeah, I was on the wrong one. Yeah.
There's 4,200 homes in Sun River, and almost half of them are rentals.
That's insane.
2,000 rentals in Sun River. That's a ton.
Yeah.
So we look at, because we have rentals, we're always very interested in short-term rentals.
Nosy.
Right? We're nosy. So if somebody says, hey, we got a short-term rentals coming up in Sun River, we're like, hey, send us the financials. We got a buyer interested. Sometimes we're buyers. Sometimes we have buyers that are genuinely interested. I've never really been impressed by Sun River's numbers.
No.
I think it's just so saturated. So many rentals. We had a client who needed a place to live because they were buying a house, but it wasn't done yet. And they had already sold their house, and there was this interim, and they were like, well, what do we do? And I'm like, well, it's summer in Bend. You're not going to find a rental.
Yeah.
They found one at Sun River.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's just so
many. And they
many
rented
of them.
it for like months. And I don't know how you could never found a short-term rental in Bend.
No.
In the month of July for a whole month. You would have been Airbnb hopping.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so the other thing that's interesting is in Bend, the percentage of homes that are short-term rentals is 2%.
2%. Yeah.
In the unincorporated areas, which is it's Bend, Redmond, not Redmond, not Citrus, not Lapine. So everywhere else, including Sun River,
rural,
it's 9%, which seems really, really high. But again, 40% plus is in Sun River.
Yeah.
It's a crazy high number, right? And then Black Butte as well.
And Black Butte, yeah.
So all that to be said, this city is looking into regulating some of those. And like we already said before, they're looking into regulations. And there's actually some things on here. Having an available property manager 24/7. Sure, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if something's going on, there's a party, there's something going on, you need to be able to contact somebody, right? That's almost really more for the guests' ability, more so than the properties, is having a property manager. Fire safety standards. If you're in the county, fire is a way bigger issue.
100%.
Because a lot of these are on acreages. Fire's an issue, can be an issue. So that's good. Mandatory garbage services.
Wastewater system restrictions, limit of number of people who stay in the short-term rental. That's interesting. So
So here
if you
they
have
are.
a septic tank that's only good for, 4 people in the house, yet
Yeah.
you have 12 people staying there. I mean, they're not staying 24/7, 365, but still,
Yeah.
I mean, you're putting a huge load on the septic. So I'm interested to see why that one came about. Like, did people have overflowing poopers?
Yeah. Too much poop.
Too much poop.
Too much poop in the septic system for sure.
Yeah.
Proof of insurance from the short-term rental owner. Quiet hours, which apply to 10 to 7. We don't know if the county's actually going to go through with any of these restrictions right now, but we do know that they are going to consider it at their next county meeting, their next council meeting. So
definitely something to keep our eye on.
Yeah. Cool. I think that's kind of it. Let's see if we have any questions come in. Nope, no questions. Let's go back over to here. Boy, that's it, I guess.
That was a quick one.
That felt like a quick one.
Yeah.
Oh, I could, you know what I'm going to show you? There's one other thing I got for you, just for fun. And I'm sure we'll talk about this at some point in the future. There is a new development. We always like to talk about new developments on here. There is a new development coming to Bend. And I found it finally. Pahlisch Homes is doing a 150 home development.
Are you on hold now? Where is this?
Yeah.
I don't even think I know about this.
Okay, so there's a little area down here. This is actually called the elbow. Okay.
Oh.
This black line. Oh, shoot. They can't see it. I have, whoops.
Oh, there you go.
Hold on. Let me go back over here. Whoa. That's Bend. Boom.
Yeah.
This down here is the elbow.
So we're in reference, this is the elbow, but this is the dump.
This is the dump over here. Stevens Road, not landfill, not road right here. So this is the elbow. Now,
where the dump is this right here.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah,
but
you were over here.
This black line right here, this represents the UGB. And
the urban growth boundary.
The urban growth boundary where development is allowed to take place. But the dotted line is actually the city boundary, where the city's rules actually are. So what they had to do, hang on, let me move over here, banners, take that off, back over here. Right here, this is the elbow. Now, there's a lot of stuff that's planned in here. In fact, we didn't get a house sold right here because there was an apartment complex coming in. Remember that one?
There's 2 apartment complexes.
Yeah, there's going to be
2 different ones.
We haven't really talked about those because they're more apartments and not necessarily single family homes. But right here, actually, this chunk right here is going to be 100. Look at this. Look at the spatial awareness here of these lots. There's going to be 150 homes right in here from Hayden. That's a lot, right?
Are you kidding me?
No. But this was recently annexed into the city limits right here. It's within the UGB, so it can happen. But this Bend City Council just maybe a month ago actually annexed it and approved it to go in. So this is interesting. There aren't any other plans whatsoever. I actually pulled it up. I tried to pull up some of the plans right here. I couldn't find anything that showed what was going on other than the fact that right up
Did they have
here.
a name for it? Oh, Magnolia Meadows.
It's called Magnolia Meadows. And it's going to be 18 acres. It's going to be annexed into the city of Bend, which has now been approved. 4 phases, 151 lots, 103 single family unit detached homes, and 48 townhomes.
And an open space.
This is awesome because the problem that we have, I'll go back to us first again. And I just talked about this in a video that's coming out tomorrow, is that land is so expensive in Bend that the only way that developers can really make money is by pricing it at that kind of median average home price and above. That's the only way they can build enough profit in it to really make it all work. Hey, Lindsay, thank you so much for the comment. And we're glad that you were able to catch this one live this time. That's great.
So she likes at 4 o'clock?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know that I've seen her comment before on one that we did at noon. So yeah, that's great. So, oh, I can show this. There it is. She's commenting. Thanks so much, Lindsay. We appreciate that. So the thing about this is that when Hayden goes into something and they buy it, they're, a big developer builder here in the area. It's usually they're more of the kind of middle to lower class, like they're entry level.
Entry level.
They're entry level homes, which is so sorely needed here.
Oh, 100%.
So the fact that this is going on, I mean, I can obviously see why the city
There's
immediately
so
annexed
much
this
going
in.
on the southeast side of Bend.
Yeah.
Like that is like the walkability that it's going to bring, like just the more homes. It's super exciting. And then they're going to have a lot of commercial stuff down there too.
Yeah.
Which is just good. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing if you're on the northeast side of Bend. If we actually get like a small little grocery store, which we've heard rumors of a few, I think that is so amazing because it's sorely needed.
It is sorely needed. So this is very exciting. That's very exciting. Whatever. Point is. Yeah, I think we can wrap it now.
Yeah.
We talked about that. There's another one that they had annexed in. We haven't talked about it yet. We'll maybe talk about it in another video. Guys, stay tuned. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, new development stuff, we've got a video coming out in a couple of weeks that talks about the seven brand new developments that are coming to Bend that we are excited about. It's going to be a lot of the new construction for the next, year or 2 or 3 or 10 in some cases.
Yeah.
But be on the lookout for that on a YouTube channel as well. That'll be coming up in a few weeks. So
super cool.
All right, let's do it. We made it to the 30-minute mark. I stalled on that last one.
I didn't have to talk about alligators. So
I'm glad you didn't. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, if you or someone you know is looking to buy or sell in the area, we would love to be your local here, Bend, Central Oregon real estate resource of choice.
Oh, and also we have a new team member.
Yeah.
Yes.
We should.
We didn't say that. We should have started with that.
Dang it.
Yes. Kristen Merck, who joined our team. Super excited about her and what the dynamic she's going to bring to the team.
Yep.
So just to throw that out there.
Cool. We'll have her. Maybe we'll have her on.
Oh, she'll love that.
That'd be cool. All right, guys. Thanks so much. And we will see you next time or tomorrow if you're watching. Yeah, whatever. We'll see you on the next video. Cheers, guys.